Forgot to turn my mic on. Whoops. Well, we're here. I hope everybody's having a great day whenever you're watching this. If you are with the stream right now, hello. And I'm just gonna finish plugging the stream. And we're good. So, as you can see, we are at the 2028-2029 season. And it is a crazy time here. We just won our second Stanley Cup in a row, thanks to Kurt Cusack winning the Conn Smythe, as you can see, back to back. That is our so we are 3-time Stanley Cup winners overall, 2-time Stanley Cup winners in this franchise mode. Here are the lines. Brand new lines for a brand new season. We have quite a bit of change happening here. So first off, we have Tannehill and Rabbit on the second line with Ryan Suzuki, Sebastian Aho, Andrei Svechnikov, and Dominic Bach are our first line. Will Looper, Landon Robinson, and Samuel Poulam is our third line. Benjamin Griffith, a former third-round pick of ours. Vitaly Zykov and Jake Gensel is our fourth line. On defense, we have Morgan Riley with Hayden Conacher, Jake Bean, Josh Morrissey, Sami Nuku, and Daniil Chayka. Let's see, does this fix anything? Not really. Does that fix anything? It doesn't. Okay. So as you can see, Brady Shea is no longer a member of our team. We had to get rid of him, and then Brett Pesce also didn't want to sign. I think Shea was getting down in overall a lot, so I didn't want to keep him around. As you can see, still an elite goalie tandem, Kurt and Yuri Leonov here. One of the best goalie tandems in the league. Scratched Chase Stillman and Bob Rourke. I'm kind of disappointed that we're scratching 2 prospects, but it's okay. And then one more time for the offense: Bach, Aho, Svechnikov, Rabbit, Suzuki, Tenno, Looper, Robinson, Poulan, Griffith, Zykov, and Gensel. AHL, because I haven't seen it yet, looks like the AHL team is a little underwhelming here. Actually, I'm going to do that because that makes the lines better. A couple decent prospects, though, on this team. Raycroft is new, Anthony Raycroft. Any other exciting prospects? Doesn't appear so. Let's see, Magnus Soderstrom, 2nd round pick. Russell Marsh, 1st round pick, 12th overall. And then Nash, right wing. Yeah, mostly everybody fits their role, but, you know, I'd like to see the defense fit the role a little better, but it's alright. It ain't too bad. So there's the team. Shea and Pesce and then Reese were the 3 big losses in the offseason, but it ended up kind of working out because I wasn't going to keep Reese anyways. I don't think I traded him. If I did, I'm sorry that I didn't remember. Parayko, they want a 1st round pick for. He's a top 6 defenseman now, which is not good. Yeah, other than that, nothing else is going on. Everything is going pretty smoothly here. Hopefully, you know, we can go back to back to back and become 4-time Stanley Cup champs. I really want to win 2 more Stanley Cups in this franchise mode. That way I can say that we're 5-time champs, like, overall, and I can do the Booker T bit. But I'm not going to do that right now. We're going to just keep going, hope everything goes all right. 5 Stanley Cups overall as a franchise would be pretty cool. But right now we'll settle for 3. And I'm just filling time while I wait for the preseason to go. But hope everything's going alright in everybody else's life. It's been boring here because I haven't been able to do anything because, you know, quarantine. I did appear on a podcast today, so if you guys don't follow the Siren Sounder podcast, you should go follow that because that'll be out tomorrow, hopefully. Yeah, we've won 2 in a row. So it's the Canes' 3rd Stanley Cup overall, but our 2nd Stanley Cup in this franchise mode. But I want to win 2 more so I can say that the Canes overall have been 5-time champs. All right. Nice 3 games in a row, 4 games in a row where we scored over 5 goals in a, or 5 or more goals in a game with a big 8-5 win over the Bruins. Here are your central scouting rankings. Owen Riley is projected to go first overall. Other than that, we don't know anything other than another Vikingstad player. But that is about it. I doubt we have any gems so far. We don't. So, nothing too crazy. Yeah, so we're going for our 3rd Stanley Cup in a row, which, you know, if it happens, great. If not, it's fine. I'm happy with 2 throughout this run. I did a Canes Twitter franchise mode that I don't think I ever published, just to try it out for like 5 seasons, and I didn't win. I didn't even make the playoffs like more than twice, so kind of scrapped it. 5-2-1 now. Nice. Oh man. Okay, so this team's doing really well. Wow. Lots of big wins. Seems like goaltending and defense has been a little shaky so far. Ooh, Hayden Conacher's out for a month, and he's on the top pair, so that's not good. But it might give guys like Chayka a chance to really develop, so that's good news. And definitely the offense isn't an issue, though. 5-1 win again, man. 7-2-1 to end the month of October. 5-2, there we go. So, and still, you know, the Penguins are right on our tails, but, you know, 8-3-1 isn't too bad. And even then, we scored 4 goals in that loss to the Preds. 7-0. Goodness. All right, 5-3 win. So yeah, definitely offense isn't an issue. So I'm happy about that. Seems like defense we need to shore up a little bit, but I can make it work. I do want Chayka to get an opportunity. So if he's not doing that well or developing at all, then I might consider moving on from him. Alright, so we're coming a bit back down to earth with some overtime losses, but we get another big win against St. Louis and a win against Colorado, so definitely holding steady. 13-3-3, so much for those slow starts, right? Man. And yeah, I've noticed that like people all around are starting to get a little bored because Ned was streaming for like 3-4 hours today, and you know, typically he doesn't do that, so it seems like everybody's starting to get a little tired of being at home. 15-3-3, goodness. This is our best start yet, easily. Which worries me. I'm worried that the team will have a great start and then just come crashing down at the end, but I really can't complain with this start. This is easily our best start, even if we lose against the Rangers. We don't. 5-0 win. So 18-3-3, my goodness. Alright, so let's check this out real quick. Todd Tennell's leading the team in points with 29. And I was worried that he would be a bust too. He and Rabbit were worrying me at one point, but 26, both are over a point per game. Svechnikov's over a point per game. Suzuki is at a point per game. And we have 3 other players in the 20s already this season. We've played 24 games. Wow. So that's really good. Rookie skaters, do we have any? So we have Griffith and Rourke. Rourke's doing, you know, okay, so not really a whole lot of contributions from our rookie skaters, but both have their first NHL goals. I want to check one thing real quick while I'm here. How are we doing in goals per game? We have over 5. We're averaging 5 goals a game. A little over that. Or 4 goals a game, excuse me. I can't do math. There it is right there. So 4.17 goals for per game. But a goals against is 2.38, which isn't great. It's not terrible. But I definitely would like that up. 81.3% of points earned so far, which is insanity. I don't expect us to keep this up, but that was an excellent 2 months to start the year. Alright, so we're going to sim to February 1st now, so go another 2 months. I don't think we have any people injured right now, which is good. Lots of games for Charlotte this month, but only on the weekends, so that's interesting. Chayka's out with an injured groin for about a week. That's not a huge loss, considering I don't think he was doing all that well, but still a loss nonetheless. 4-0 win against the Islanders. There we go. That's not exciting. And new Central Scouting rankings. I didn't get to see what that Arizona game was, though. So, looks like we know that this Backus player is also medium elite, and then it drops to medium top 4. So, Alright. And we have 1 gem projected to go early-ish in the second round, kind of towards the middle. And Gail Grabowski from the USA Central. Gonna see what his potential is, because it's definitely not bottom six forward. It's probably like might even be a medium top six at that point. So that was a shootout win, and then Daniil Chayka's able to play 5-4 win. There we go. Okay. Sami Niku's out with a sore foot for about a week. That's a tough loss for us. Seems like he was doing all right. I mean, the whole team as a whole was doing great, so that's good news. 3-2 loss against New Jersey, so that's our first loss in a good while. Niku's back, though, so he only really missed one game, and we lost, so clearly he's doing well on this team. 4-2 win against Florida. Crazy. This is the best season I think I've had, and I thought we got worse. In all honesty, I think we got worse. Dominic Bach out with a concussion, so he's out until the end of the month. It's not as long as I thought it would be, but still a pretty big loss, losing one of your first line forwards. And the New York Rangers have fired their head coach. Early on in the season, too. We're less than halfway through. Wow. The Rangers must have been fed up. 2 straight losses. That's a first for a while. That hasn't happened in a little bit. Going up against the Capitals now. And we win. And then they want to make a trade. The Oilers did. I think that was the Oilers. And we don't want to. So beat the Capitals. Beat the Red Wings. Can we beat Tampa? Will Looper's out with back spasms. Out for about a week. Luckily we have a 4-day break in between all then. And it looks like Will's back and Dominic Bach is back. A shootout win against Tampa there. Going up against Columbus. Toronto has fired Ryan Getzlaf as their head coach. What? So Toronto's fired their head coach. Man. 6-4 win against Columbus. Nice. Okay. I was kind of worried that that was going to be another injury. It was when I saw the screen like stop. But big win against Tampa there. In the new year, we're 28-5-4 at the new year point. 28-6-4. Tough. All right. We beat Chicago 2-1. That's a low-scoring game for us. 4-2 win, though, the next night. Bit of a road swing here. 3 games, and we've got 2 wins so far. Only one of them against a team in the conference, and a shootout loss. So we actually lose that game in the shootout. And a loss against Pittsburgh, too. And Pittsburgh's right behind us, and by right behind us, I mean by 10 points. 6-1 win against Buffalo, though. I always like it when we beat the Sabres in these sims, because I hate Buffalo in real life. 6-5. Man, this team is phenomenal, and they just will not stop scoring. Against Chicago, 6-3 win. Timothy Rabbit's now out with a pulled groin for about 2 weeks. Luckily, we only have 4 more games, and then he'll be back. That's really good for us. All right, new Central Scouting rankings. We still don't know anything about the top 2. I always like scouting the top 2 just in case, you know, for whatever happens, or if we get a top 2 pick. I always like scouting like the top 5. Okay, so yeah, the Gem's a medium top 6 right winger. They say he's a power forward. A in shooting, which is nice. 3 years away. Skating's a bit of an issue. Other than that, he's pretty solid. That's a good player. I might have to consider that. If there's no good players at the end of the first round, which is where I'm projecting to be picking. Yeah, I mean, I think I only signed Morrissey for a season. I may have only signed Niku for a season or 2 as well. I don't want to say yes to that trade. So I'm kind of thinking that the defense is going to get a bit of a revamp. Because our defense isn't great. The second pair is both 84, and then we have an 84 and a 78 on the back pair, or on the third pair, so I'm not too sold on that. Rabbit's back, and then somebody else, I guess, is back as well. So 37-8-5. Obviously, you know, the team is great as is. Incoming first round loss. Svedge is now leading the team in points with 50. 58, I'm sorry. We've played 50 games. 54 points for Sebastian Aho. Ryan Suzuki with 41 assists and 8 goals. Very unselfish of him. And then Rabbit and Bach Rabbits still hovering around the point per game mark despite missing 4 games. Bach, same deal. Will and Tanel doing great as usual. Yeah, that's solid. But yeah, as you can see, Riley, 31 points. I think he's only here. Yeah, he's here for another year. I'm expecting him to regress a little bit, though, because he's 34, and as you can see, he's no longer medium elite, or exact elite. So that's not good. And then, yeah, so that's the team. Goaltending, because I know I'm going to be curious. Actually, pretty solid goaltending, despite, the defense being a little sus. We must give up a ton of shots. But yeah, pretty great goaltending overall, I'd say. Yeah, shooting percentage is, I mean, you're going to have a high shooting percentage with, the team scoring as well as they do, but I mean, Suzuki is obviously a very good playmaker. He's leading the team in assists. Nobody has more than half a goal per game, though, so, other than Aho. So, I mean, no, that's not true. Rabbit's leading the team in goals. Never mind. And his shooting percentage is actually worse than Aho's, technically. So, I don't know. Either way, the team's doing really well. And we're still probably averaging about 5 goals a game. That's not too bad. We'll sim to the deadline here since it is February 28th. That's about a month. Decent amount of games this month. Nothing. We only have 2 Metro Division games. New Jersey and Philly, and I don't know if either of them are playoff teams. Ooh. Okay, a decent trade. We get a right winger, Knights, and then Healington for 2 prospects. So Nashville's selling a little bit. Was that Philly that traded? It was Philly. Dang, so Philly must be loading up a little bit. But still, 3 more wins. Man, 15 goals in those 3 games. Conacher's out again for a couple weeks. So that's not good. He is my top pairing defenseman, and he's a defensive defenseman. But another win against Minnesota is nice. 3-1 loss is to be expected. 87 points already before the trade deadline. This is insane. Robinson is now out with a mild concussion. He's out for less than a week, though, so that's okay. We might actually see him back before the by the Vancouver game. Nothing too crazy. St. Louis gets a couple prospects, and Calgary gets a Kapaka. Most of these players are going to be guys that I've never heard of now. Toronto sells a little bit, and Andreas Janssen and Alexander Kerfoot go to Minnesota. Conacher's back, so that's good for us. Yeah, that's really good for us, actually. 5-2 loss. Okay, maybe not as good as I thought it would be. Toronto trades a couple players and actually gets Connor McLennan, which is a really good deal for them. 83 overall, and I'm pretty sure he's fairly young. Landon Robinson's back as well, so now we have both those pieces back. So that's a big deal for us. Nothing doing for that trade. I don't want to make any moves. I don't think I need to be honest. Shea Theodore to Calgary. Vegas gets a couple prospects. Wow, that's a big deal. And alright, so 3 straight losses. And Toronto flips McLennan to Dallas along with Beauvillier in a 3rd. They get a prospect in a 2nd. So that must be a pretty good prospect then. I don't want Rem Pitlick. 4 straight losses now. This team is falling apart. Oh no. Alright. Finding Nino has been traded from Vegas to Detroit, along with Caden Korzak. Vegas gets Victor Mete, a 3rd, and Ilya Mikheyev. So Detroit now has Finding Nino. And I think they had 1 or 2 other Canes prospects, or Canes Twitter players, but Finding Nino, a new Detroit Red Wing. And we actually play them coming up. Mete. What? So he's back with Vegas now. What? Never mind, he's no longer on Detroit. Alright, never mind. And the 4-game losing streak was snapped with a win against Boston, 5-2 win, and a big 6-1 win against Detroit. That's one of the strangest things I've seen is I think those trades were identical. Man. Okay, so 3 straight wins after that 4-game losing streak. 45, 13, and 5 at the trade deadline. Are we a playoff team already? Not quite. We haven't quite clinched, but we are 15 points in ahead of Pittsburgh, or the Blue Jackets. Wow. Man. Svech has 74 points in 63 games, which is pretty insane. It's not quite like McDavid levels of good, but that's still quite good. We're going to sim to the final game of the season against New York. And we lose to Tampa. Wow. All right. Let's see how early we can clinch. Win against New York. Overtime loss against Philly, so we do get a point. We beat Pittsburgh 3-2, and we've clinched. So we clinch March 8th. 4 wins after that overtime loss to Philly. 5 straight wins. Crazy. Crazy stuff. Still nothing on this guy right here. This Owen Riley guy. Been scouting him for a very long time. He must not be very high on our priority list. But it's alright, I don't care. Alright, shootout loss to Toronto. Benjamin Griffith, so one of our 4th line wingers, is out with an injured knee for a week. I think we'll be okay. I don't think Griffith was having that good of a season, and he's already back, so. Alright. Alright. So 3 straight wins after a shootout loss. We do lose in 1-0 to Pittsburgh, and then we come back with, I believe, 2 straight wins. I couldn't see quick enough. We've easily clinched the conference with 120 points, and we still have 2 games to play. A 2-1 win against Ottawa. We're going to sim this game just to see how crazy we can beat the Rangers. 3-1. Wow, the Rangers are beating us. Kakko, D'Angelo, and Robertson score. Poulin does score for the Hurricanes. Teno gets a goal for the Canes. And Canes tie it up. Aho and Suzuki get goals while Tage Thompson scores for the Rangers. We're going to go to overtime. I think I'm just going to sim through it. I am going to sim through the shootout. Canes lose in the shootout. Wow. All right. So shootout loss to end the season. The final home game of the year. Doesn't matter. We still won the President's Trophy more than likely with 123 points. And we play Pittsburgh once again. I believe this is the 3rd year in a row we've played Pittsburgh. So let's check the team leaders. Svech had 92 points, so still nobody hit the century mark, but that's okay. Aho, 89 points. Teno, 75. Suzuki with 60 assists. Oh my gosh. Will with 70 points. Rabbit with 68. Bach with 66. So again, those 2 players that I thought were busts. Rabbit first. So his first year, 21 points. 34, 46, 78, 67, 68. Crazy. Teno, 75, 52. So he had 24 points and then immediately shot up into the 40s. 52 and then 75. Crazy. Still a ridiculous high shooting percentage for a lot of these guys. Robinson had 55 points as an 83 overall player. Wow. Riley hit 50 points. Poulin, new addition to the team, 47 points. Jake Gensel had 30. So there's definitely a drop-off after that 47. Goalies, definitely... Oh, the save percentages are identical. Wow. And then, let's go. Rookie skaters. Griffith finished with 16 points. Not that great. Chase Stillman, point per game player. Or half point per game, sorry. And then Rourke had 9 points. So nothing too crazy from our rookie players. How did Chayka do on defense, out of curiosity? 9 points in 80 games. Still at a 78 overall, man. And now they're ranking him as a top 60. So it's time to say goodbye to Chayka. What's crazy about this is we had one player score 40 goals. and then 4 others hit 30, but that's it. Like, it was a pretty balanced team effort from scoring after that. So, like, there wasn't one player with like 50 goals like an OV season or anything. I don't know why I hit this. Well, we'll go back. Alright, so Pittsburgh versus Carolina, game 1 of the series. We're going to simulate. There's an AHL game this night, so just Charlotte's finishing up their season. Game 1, period 1, Robinson gets a goal, so Landon Robinson, I always say Robertson, scores the first goal of the playoffs for the Carolina Hurricanes. Second period, we get a goal from Dominic Bach. Third period, Connor Sheary gets a goal, but the Canes win thanks to Dominic Bach's goal. 1-0 Carolina series lead. Alright. And Pittsburgh had been falling. They were 2-7-1 in their last 10 games before the playoffs, so we'll look to take advantage of that, because we were 6-2-2. Alright, 2-0 though. Beach and Bracco score for the Penguins. And Dahlin scores. We do get a goal from Rabbit, which is nice. Hopefully we can tie this up in the third. We cannot. So Kostin and Senyshyn score. Tennell and Bach at least restore. Or at least make it salvageable, but no. Canes lose 5-3. Tough loss, man. That's a tough one to give up, but hopefully we can take advantage of the first game in Pittsburgh. Game 3 coming up. First period. Ooh, Pajot scores for the Penguins. Again, too, and then Bach scores to cut the lead in half. Second period, nothing. Or third period, Canes lose 2-1. All of a sudden, it is 2-1 Penguins in this series. Bach has definitely been carrying the team, though. 3 goals in 3 games. The AHL season is over. Charlotte does advance to the playoffs. Having a good season. And they lost their first game of the playoffs, but they are playing Providence. Alright. First period of game 4. Canes finally get a goal to start the game. Will Looper scoring his first goal of the playoffs. Second period, nothing doing there. Third period now. Canes lose! Optimistic Kaniak and Beach score twice each. Svechnikov with another goal. That's a disappointing loss. And I was saying this to myself earlier. I was like, man, we're doing so well in the regular season. I guarantee you we pull like a Washington and lose in the first round. Hopefully I can change my mind. First period, Will Looper scoring again from a really bad angle. Second period, it's tied up. Optimistic Kaniak. Third period, Canes win. Riley, Bach, and Aho scoring. So finally the Canes get a win after dropping 3 in a row. Still 3-2 Penguins. Bach is still carrying the load for this team in the playoffs, but this is doable. Game 6 in Pittsburgh now. It's all because I said Pittsburgh was struggling earlier on. Pajot scoring first for the Penguins. Tough loss. Canes get it right back, though. Svechnikov, Griffith, and Poulin scoring, so the bottom 6 coming in clutch with those 2 goals. Svech scoring from a weird spot on the ice. Third period, it is 3-2, your final. Bracco scores for the Penguins to cut the lead in half, bring it down to a 1-goal lead, but that does not matter. Canes win. Jake Bean's out until May 2nd, though. So, he's out till at least the end of the second round. Maybe middle of second round, depends. But Game 7 in Raleigh, Pittsburgh versus Carolina. First period, tie game, Optimistic Kaniak and Will Looper, so 2 creative players scoring from almost identical spots on the ice. Ooh, Optimistic Kaniak scoring again in the second period. Third period coming up now. Canes win! Bach ties it, Robinson gets 2 goals, and then Rabbit scores. Canes win in the third period. Game 7, they're moving on. That was a tough loss for Pittsburgh, man. Giving up 4 goals in that third period. Although that's exactly what the Canes did in one game this series, so it's payback. At least that's what I'm calling it. Game 1 against Columbus in the second round. Nothing after the first period. Second period, 3 goals for the Hurricanes. Rabbit gets 2. Conacher gets his first of the playoffs, and then Lafreniere gets both goals for Columbus. Third period now. Canes win. Rourke, Tennell, and Suzuki score. I believe that might be Suzuki's first goal of the playoffs. Either way, Canes wins 6-2. Suzuki with 4 points, Tennell with 3, Rabbit with 2 goals. Suzuki, yeah, that was his first of the playoffs, and he has 10 assists. Oh my gosh. Ryan Suzuki, man. What an unselfish player. Jake Bean is also back for the Hurricanes, which is really good. Getting one of your defensemen back. First period, Lafreniere scores on Kurt, his 3rd goal of the series in 2 games. Second period, Canes get it back with a goal from Poulin. Third period now, Canes win. Svetch, Aho, and Robinson score. And that's a big win for the Hurricanes there. Getting that Game 2 win at home. You put the Blue Jackets in a little bit of a hole. Alright, so we're going to sim to Game 3. Looks like every series is 2-0 here, so no series has been split so far. Canes versus Columbus. Columbus again gets the first goal. Seth Jones scoring on Kurt this time. Second period, Will scores and Aho scores with a goal from Texier scored in the middle. Aho actually scored from beyond the blue line. That's a bad goal to give up from Shesterkin here. And Game 3, third period, Canes lose. Stankoven and Kasha score for the Blue Jackets. The Blue Jackets do get a win in this series. It is 2-1 now. Dominic Bachno has the same amount of points as Suzuki in 10 games. Looks like LA is on the verge of sweeping Calgary. So I'm sorry, Connor. First period, nothing doing here. Second period, tie game. Zykov scores. I believe that might be his first of the playoffs. And Seth Jones scoring again for Columbus. Third period now. Canes win. Robinson and Aho score. Robinson actually wins it with 43 seconds left. Kasha does score to tie up, but that goal from Robinson proves to be the winner. Does Calgary get eliminated? Yes, they do. Sorry, Connor. No cup for you this year. Dominic Bach had 2 points in that game to take the scoring lead for himself. He's having a great playoffs, too. Wow. Nothing again in the first period. There haven't been a whole lot of scoring in the first period in this series. Second period now, 2-1 Columbus. Venberg and Dubé score, and then Rabbit does get a goal to hopefully give the Canes some momentum heading into the third. Nothing. So 2-1 is your final in Game 5. Columbus forces a Game 6. No points for Bach in that game, but it was 2-1. So, and I think the second line scored, so it would make sense for Bach to not get a point. All right, first period. Canes do get 2 goals. Poulin and Morrissey. Morrissey's first goal of the playoffs, and Poulin is having a pretty quiet playoffs, but a solid playoffs nonetheless. And then second period, Canes are piling it on here. Will Looper, Conacher scoring from beyond center ice. Wow. And then Aho scoring as well. Tough period for Shesterkin there after that Conacher goal he gave up. And then third period, 8-1 is your final with Griffith, Svechnikov, and Riley scoring on Nedeljkovic, former Carolina Hurricane. Your expectations are low. Your expectations were low and you were still disappointed. I get it, man. But Canes win, advance in the series. Sebastian Aho is now the team's leader in points in the playoffs. And we'll be facing the Florida Panthers once again in the conference final. I believe last year or the year before we beat them in the conference final. So this will definitely be an interesting series. It's Dallas versus LA in the Western Conference final. First goal belongs to the Canes. Sami Niku scoring his first goal of the playoffs on Josh Grantham. Nice. Second period, Canes still piling it on. Svechnikov and Aho, so the first line's getting it done. Ekblad does score for the Panthers, giving them a little bit of life at the end of the period. Third period now, tie game. Trey Cash and Ekblad scored. I'm blanking on his first name so hard. Is it Alex Ekblad? No, that's not right. I can't remember. I am so bad. Ekblad scores. We're going to overtime. I'm going to make sure I hit sim this time. 99 offense, as you can see. 93 defense and 91 goaltending. So that 93 defense is a little better than their 91 defense, and the goaltending's obviously a little better too. but can't really factor in the backup there. So, Aaron, thank you. It's Aaron. I really only call him Ekblad, but I didn't know his first name. I'm embarrassed. All right. So it's Braden Point against Sebastian Aho on the face-off circle. Aho wins it back to Conacher. He's going to dish it to Bach. Bach's going to turn the puck over, interestingly enough. That was an interesting move to go back into your zone, but whatever. Nice pass to Svechnikov here. Svech is going to carry it in on the middle. He's tripped up. The Canes are going on the power play here. So power play coming up in overtime, game 1, and it's going to be Griffith taking the... Or Hanifin, I'm sorry. I read it as Griffith. It's really hard to read the letters on the Panthers jerseys. Wow. So Hanifin takes a penalty against his former team in the playoffs. Tough loss. Oh no. Svech shoots into the backside of an opposing player. That's true, yeah. Like, I remember he was considered a franchise player, and I think even NHL 15. I don't think I had NHL 14, but NHL 15 was terrible, but I still played it. I hate when that happens. They just yeet the puck down the ice. Okay, whatever. Bach has the puck now on the power play. Pretty ineffective power play for the Canes so far, but Will Looper's carrying it up. He's taking a slap shot. Easy save from Grantham. 10-0 with the puck now. Back to Aho. Ooh, blocked pass, but Will Looper gets it back. He's got it to Aho. Pass back to Bach. To Svechnikov, a 5-forward power play unit here with 10-0 on the ice as well. Svechnikov's got it. He shoots. Easy save from Grantham there. Will Looper coming up the ice. He's going to pass it. Svechnikov's got it at the point. Slap shot blocked by Ekblad. Trey Cash is going to clear it out of the zone. Good shift from the power play there. I think they're going to continue. Dominic Bach has the puck. What's he going to do with it? He's going to break it out himself and pass it to Tennell. Tennell's going to enter into the zone. He had a phenomenal season. Will Looper shoots, save. Ooh, and Grantham gives up a nice rebound that almost bounced in off of his own player. 55 seconds left on the power play now. And the second unit is out. So it's Landon Robinson, Ryan Suzuki, and Samuel Poulin. So definitely a less star-studded power play unit with Morgan Riley, Timothy Rabbit, and that was a good save from Grantham there. And a puck comes out of the zone. Todd Tennell is second in hits, and I believe he's like 5'9", so that's impressive. 48-40 faceoffs win. Suzuki wins it back to Rabbit. Good save from Grantham, and the puck's going to exit the zone there. Rabbit's going to pick it up. He's going to carry it out. He's going to break it out, hopefully. Yep, to Robinson here, Landon Robinson. Weak shot. I think that was more supposed to be a pass. Robinson scores! He gets a turnover and puts it in the back of the net. Canes win game 1 in overtime. 4-3 is your final. What a bad turnover, and Robinson takes advantage of it. Canes win. What a play. What a guy. And I love the unbiased announcing that you get from me. Just, it's wonderful. It's so biased. I'm definitely a little biased. Alright, so we're going to play Sim Game 2. First period, Canes score. Samuel Poulin scoring another goal. He's made an impact as of late. That's the first period. Canes up 1-0. Second period now. Ooh, 3-0 lead on Robinson again. Scoring. And Will Looper almost from identical spots on the ice here. And a 3-0 shutout for Kurt. Kurt makes 35 saves. Robinson with 3 points. He's having a heck of a series now. That whole third line is doing phenomenally. Poulin also had 2 points. Draft class, do we finally know who the first overall guy is? We don't. We still don't know. It has been the whole season. We've been scouting this guy. Mr. Weston, you've been scouting this guy the entire season and know nothing about him. Still only 1 gem in this draft, which is a little concerning. I think it might have said that it was a weaker draft. I'm not sure. Either way, we're heading to Game 3 in Florida. First period, Canes are up 2-1. Karen Lang does score, but Jake Gensel, believe that's his first goal of the playoffs, and Sami Niku score for the Hurricanes to give the Canes a 2-1 lead. Second period now, Bach and Poulin add. Poulin's having himself a phenomenal series as well. And then the third period, Trey Cash and Owen Anderson, holy crap, playing for Florida now instead of the Rangers. And Tanel gets the goal just to give us a go-ahead goal. But man, Owen Anderson playing for Florida now. That is insane. This is a stacked team. I must have missed that. I know in free agency there were a handful of players that did flip teams because players are UFAs now. But I didn't see all that much movement. I know Jacob Narbe was one of the players that was a free agent, and I didn't see Owen, so it must have been a trade that I missed or just can't remember. So up now is game 4. Canes are up 3-0 in this series. 5-0 in the first period. Owen Anderson with 2 goals, Trey Cash with 1, Hanifin and Haig with the others. Canes are coming back though. Will Looper and Morgan Riley score late in the second to give the Canes a little bit of life. Third period though, 9-4. Yikes. Trey Cash with a hat trick in this game. Barkov gets another 2 goals. Rabbit and Aho do score 2 goals, but yeah, too little too late for the Hurricanes as they give up 5 goals in the first and then 4 in the third. And Suzuki's out with a mild concussion until the very end of this series. We're heading to game 5 now. And yeah, Suzuki won't be back until the Cup final and probably about game 3 or 4. So that's not good. First period, 4-1. Oh my gosh. Aho does score at the end of the period to give the Canes a bit of life. Nothing in the second, and in the third we get a goal from Poulin, who is having a good series, but the Canes need to stop giving up multiple goals in a period, and by that I mean 4 or more. 3-2 in the series. Canes are still up, thankfully. First period, simming. Canes score 4 goals in the first period, and they yank Grantham right out of there. So Jarvinen is in goal. Griffith with a goal. Bach with a goal. Actually with 2, and then Rourke gets another goal. So the fourth line has 2 goals so far in this game. Second period, Huberdeau and Cash do score to cut the lead in half, but Looper and Aho restore that 4-goal lead for the Canes. 10-3 is your final. Rourke getting his second goal of the game. Rabbit, Morrissey, and Svechnikov scoring goals as well. Canes win and eliminate the Panthers in astounding fashion. And it will be Canes versus Kings in the Stanley Cup final. This is the Hurricanes' 3rd time in the Stanley Cup final in 3 years. Can they go for the three-peat? We're going to game 1 here against LA. This is in Raleigh. Oman scores for the Kings in the first period. 1-0 Kings. Canes were outshot 14-6 in that first period. Canes come right back. Foss gets a goal for the Kings, but Poulin, Robinson, and Svechnikov score on Canes and Cannons to take a 3-2 lead heading into the third. And the Canes win. Rabbit gets the eventual game winner. Nikolai Ehlers ties it, or cuts the lead in half, and then Niku restores that 2-goal lead. Canes win game 1 of the series by a score of 5-3. Next game now, Sebastian Aho leading the team with 26 points in 20 games played in these playoffs. Alright, let's see. We have another game here. This is game 2. Canes come out hot. Dominic Bach and Samuel Poulin, who's having a great playoffs after I said he wasn't doing all that well. Shorthanded goal and a power play goal in that period. Canes lead 2-0. Second period, Ehlers does score to cut the lead in half, but Conacher, Looper, and Poulin again score. It is 5-1 Canes. 7-3 is your final. Tenel and Poulin score. Oman and Zaka do score for the Kings, but it is a 7-3 final. Canes take a 2-0 series lead. Aho with only 1 point in that game, and a 7-3 win, really. Huh. All right. That's good on the Canes scoring depth then. First period, game 3. We're heading to LA. Canes are up 2-0 in the series. First period, 4-3. Lots of goals in this period. Big Sam with 2 goals. Aho, Rabbit, and Rourke scoring for the Canes, but we are losing 3-4. Second period, Canes tie it thanks to Timothy Rabbit with a power play goal from the point. He has been manning the point on the power play. I kind of like him there. Third period, Canes win. Rourke and Aho score. O'Reilly does score on Kurt, but the Canes win 6-5. It is 3-0 in this series. The Canes are 1 win away from a three-peat. Aho had 3 points in that game. Ryan Suzuki is back for Game 4. That's a massive addition. Yeah, we were playing the last couple of games without Suzuki. Game 4. Carolina versus LA. First period, nothing. No score for either team. Second period, still nothing. No goals. It's a goalie duel so far. And here we go. Slow sim. Still nothing. Nothing's happening. Nothing. Nothing and more nothing. No power play goal for the Carolina Hurricanes. Final minute of the game. I don't want to sim and have the Hurricanes win in the final minute. So we're going to go ahead and start commentary now. Worst comes to worst, it'll just go to overtime. Here we go. On the verge of a three-peat. Again, I'm not playing. I haven't done anything these playoffs. Everybody knows this. I don't want somebody to watch this like, a month from the future and be like, oh, this is rigged. It's rigged. Alright, I don't know what line this is. I don't know who 36 is. Jake Bean with the puck. Sami Niku. Ooh, turns it over to O'Reilly there, though. Bad play from Sami Niku. O'Reilly still with the puck. 46 seconds left in the game. Ernie, great save by Kurt. Bean's going to clear it out, and Will Looper's got the puck now, so it must be Robinson. Ooh, nice move by Will there. Ooh, good save. Patrick Puistola, former Carolina Hurricane. I believe he was a departure this offseason with the puck. Great defensive play by Jake Bean there. Oh, almost. Kasparaitis has the puck. O'Reilly with the puck now. He's got a man out in front. What a play. Jake Bean again with a cleanup out in front. Will Looper with it. 15 seconds left. Vitaly Zykov with the puck. He's going to shoot. Great save. Canes and Cannons. And he's going to squeeze those pads. Sebastian Aho leads the team in points with 30 points. And they're going on the ice. Koivunen, Big Sam, and Nikolai Ehlers is the line for the Kings. Bach, Aho, and Svechnikov is obviously your line for Carolina. Voss gets the puck on defense. Big Sam with the puck now. 5 seconds remaining in the period. Sam's got the puck. Easy save. Conacher's going to get it, and we are heading to overtime in Game 4. Win, and the Carolina Hurricanes get the Stanley Cup. Lose, and it is a 3-1 series heading back to Raleigh for Game 5. And there's a nice back shot there's a nice shot of Big Sam and Patrick Puistola walking into the dressing room, heading into overtime, and we're going to resume. So overtime starts right now. We are at the Staples Center. LA is playing the Carolina Hurricanes in Game 4. Big Sam versus Aho. Aho wins the faceoff back to Morgan Riley. And Riley's going to take it into the zone. He's going to dish it to Svechnikov. He and Svech are going to switch places. Svech is almost going to turn the puck over, but he's got it on his stick still. Back to Conacher. Dominic Bach with the puck now. He's going to think about it. Conacher's got it now. He's going to turn the puck over to Koivunen. And what's Conacher going to do? He's going to force Koivunen to go outside. Oh, what a goal. Big Sam overtime winner. Man. 1-0 is your final. That was a fantastic pass to Big Sam. What a win for the LA Kings. Staving off elimination at home. Game 5, back in Raleigh, though. And the Canes are on the verge, again, of winning the Stanley Cup. 3rd year in a row. And first period, Koivunen gets a goal, power play goal, in the first period. So LA is up 1-0. Second period, 3-1. Sikora and Gaudette do score. Rabbit does get a goal, though. Hopefully the Canes can get something done in the third, and they can't. Ehlers gets a goal. It is 4-1. All of a sudden, the series is 3-2. Little interesting now, heading into Game 6. This is a pretty pivotal game. I'd hate to get reverse swept, and now that I said that, we probably will. First period, Canes get 2 goals, Rabbit and Rourke. So the first line or the second line and fourth line coming in clutch there. Rourke and Rabbit getting the goals. Second period now, Timothy Rabbit and Dominic Bach scoring on Canes and Cannons. All of a sudden now, Kings are up 4-0 in the third period. 5-0 now, thanks to a goal from Robinson. And as always, I'm going to have to slow sim this third period. Canes can't convert on the power play, but they are limiting LA to less than 20 shots in a pivotal game at home for the Kings in the playoffs. Final 17 seconds of the game. I'm not going to watch the whole last minute. We are going to sim. We are going to watch the Stanley Cup celebration because for the third year in a row, your Carolina Hurricanes are your Stanley Cup champs. And we are also one Stanley Cup away from the Booker T bit. Alright, so... Oh, I'm playing. Shoot. I don't want to play. I just wanted to watch. I always forget to do this when it's most important. So, I am no longer playing. Here we go. Alright, we got 10 seconds remaining. Again, what a series. Like, this never would have happened. We went to Game 7 after being down against Pittsburgh. Canes win, and we are Stanley Cup champs yet again. Like we almost lost in the first round to Pittsburgh, and I think that was the closest we had come to losing after that. The Columbus series may have been close, but I can't remember. I don't think we really struggled against Florida. That's still a crazy playoffs for the Hurricanes. Not their best, but obviously some new Stanley Cup champs on this team with Rourke and Griffin. And I think Chayka is also technically a new champ. He was on the team last year, but didn't play. So, we are your Stanley Cup champs once again. And I didn't really make an effort to make the team a whole lot better this year. I removed a few players who I didn't think were good, but I actually thought that, we'd try and develop the prospects on the fourth line this year. Just goes to show that our top six is the best in the league, or at least one of the best in the league, and then our third line is also elite. Timothy Rabbit with a mop on his head, look at that. Alright, so Aho obviously having the most points in this series. 7 points in 6 games, not too bad, but he did have the most points overall on the team in the playoffs. He's going to win the Conn Smythe, I believe, for the second time in his career. And then the Stanley Cup. Sebastian Aho is the captain, so he's always going to get it first. But I'm curious to see who he hands it off to. Your Stanley Cup champs. There's some bunch of jerk shirts in the stands too, which is kind of neat. I always like that feature. So Aho's obviously going to hold the cup up for the third time in 3 years. So enjoy this moment, Mr. Aho. You've enjoyed it twice before, and I'm sure every time it's awesome. We're like the heel team of the NHL, man. We keep winning, and everybody hates it. So he's going to pass it. Timothy Rabbit now gets a chance to carry this Stanley Cup on his own. What a moment for Timothy Rabbit. Third Stanley Cup for him as well. He's been a big part of every Stanley Cup run. And he is going to pass it now to Rourke. So this is his first time hoisting the Stanley Cup. And he is getting it. He does really look like an old man, huh? He's going to take a second lap with it. Wow, what a selfish player. So Rabbit and Rourke are the two players, and I'm not going to stay for the photo because we've already seen what it looks like. 19 save shutout for Kurt in that game. He was obviously a huge part of the playoffs, as he always is. Wow. Man, this is getting easy, man. And I don't, it's not on rookie mode for sure. I think I have it on either semi-pro or pro. Just whatever it defaults to. Bean was out with a sore hip in that game. Oh no, he's back though. And the Checkers lost in the first round to the Providence Bruins, and Iowa wins the Calder Cup. I think the Wild had been picking pretty high in the past few years. So Edmonton wins the lottery, so that's proof that this simulation is rigged in some way. Anaheim gets second overall, and third goes to Vegas. No Metro team picks higher than sixth, which is really good for us. Other than that, that's about it. So that's good for us, actually. Central Scouting Rankings, do we finally know about this guy? We know that he's medium elite. And he's an Owen Nolan comparison, so he's not even that great. I was kind of hoping that he would be a franchise just for fun, but no. We also know that this right winger, so there's two gems projected to go pretty much back to back here. Both right wingers. One's a power forward and one's more than likely a playmaker. Although he might be a goal scorer, so good stuff. Retired players, there's probably going to be a handful of former Canes on this list. Steven Stamkos calling it a career, Erik Karlsson and Kuznetsov calling it a career as well. Ekman Larsson, wow. A pretty big free agent class this year. Looking for former Canes. I don't see any. Dougie Hamilton, 602 points, calling it a career. And Nino Niederreiter calling it a career as well. So, and Dzingel, wow. So, and Ferland, wow. Lots of former Canes on this list here. Victor Rask, man. Anybody else? Any like minor Canes? Brock McGinn calling it a career at the age of 35. And Joel Edmondson, wow. And Phil DiGiuseppe, man, look at this. Alright, so that is it for that, I'm sure. Goalies, Bobrovsky calling it a career. Hellebuck, Leonard, Grubauer, Riddick, Mrazek calling it quits with after a stint with Providence. Other than that, no other former Hurricane goalies. So that's a lot of former Canes on that retired list, though. Wow. And it's just going to continue simming. Erik Karlsson is now a coach. One of my scouts has retired. My Liga scout has retired. So I'll need to hire a Liga scout, and I won't have to hire any more coaches this year. I don't care about draft interviews. I don't care too much about that. We're going to just go ahead and do the draft. I forgot to show the rewards, so I'll just show that after this. And we're going to sim to pick 31 here. So this is our pick. 31st overall. Doesn't look like there's any great players available. So I'm going to go ahead and pick this guy. Or was it this guy? It was this guy because our scouts think he's a little more ready. I don't really need a power forward anyways. So we're going to go with this Hagman player. 65 overall sniper. Okay, I like that a little more. Timo Hagman. And stats weren't great for Karpat, but I don't care too much about that. Our next pick is going to be 62nd, so it looks like we just have 7 picks in this year's draft, as usual. I'm just going to try and go for as many good players as I can here. A low top 6 left winger. Well, what do I need? Oh, I saw a medium elite defenseman. Or a medium top 4 defenseman. So we're just going to go with him. He is 20. Skating is still rough, but I like the B physical and B shooting. So I think I'm going to make this pick. Because he can get better. 93rd overall now. This is the 3rd round. Medium elite left winger. Man, there's so many good players. He is 19, and his skating sucks. Oh my god. So yeah, he's definitely quite a ways away, but he's medium elite, so I have to pick that player. Like, if I'm drafting by potential, I want the best players. So this has been a phenomenal draft. Wow. I don't love anything around here. I did already pick a right winger. Ugh. There's really nothing, huh? Our scouts seem to like this guy enough. Clayton Yandel. He was low top 9. That's not great. But for the draft I've had, I really don't care. I've had a really good draft. Let's see. Potential. There's another low elite defenseman. I have to pick him up. And okay, I have 2 6th round picks, it looks like, which doesn't really mean a whole lot. I feel like I should pick this Rourke guy, but I have picked a lot of defensemen. We're going to pick a goalie, medium starter, Owen Conboy. You guys remember Tim Conboy? Probably not. He was just a glorified face puncher, but former Hurricane Tim Conboy. We'll just say that that's his child, even though it's probably not. Alright, we're just going to go with the 2 guys who have the elite potential. Medium 7th D, which is to be expected, and then assuming that there's still something available for us. We'll go with this left winger, Dmitry Nikulin. And he was medium bottom 6. So, pretty okay draft, I'd say. Actually, no, that's a really good draft. Shattenkirk. Okay, so that's basically just a lateral move for picks. Yep, okay, nothing crazy, just teams trading up. Neil Pionk going to LA. So LA was clearly mad that they lost to us, so they decided to fix that by trading for Neil Pionk, I guess. I don't know, that's weird. And we'll go to the awards. Yeah, he played for us for like a season, and he was just a face puncher again. So, Stanley Cup, Carolina Hurricanes. President's Trophy, Carolina Hurricanes. It was obviously LA versus Carolina. Sarai winning the Hart. Good for her. We'll have to check how she did. Aho obviously winning the Conn Smythe. Grantham again winning the Vezina, but Kurt won the William M. Jennings for the fewest goals scored against, which is really interesting. Actually, the whole team, I guess, allowed the fewest goals, which is really strange, considering we allowed a lot of goals. Rock winning his 3rd Selke in a row. Goodness. The new Patrice Bergeron here. Sarai winning the Ted Lindsay as well. And intern Maddie scoring the most goals here. Any checkers winning awards? I doubt it. That's a no. Okay. So we'll have to see how Sarai did, because that's insane. Was it for St. Louis? Alright, here are the Blues. Sarai had 96 points, 52 goals, 44 assists. Entire league. Luke Cunnin, who won the scoring trophy, had 1 more point for Dallas. Intern Maddie had 56 goals, and actually the top 5 was dominated by created players. Austin Matthews is the only non-created player here. Jacob Narby and Trey Cash also coming in the top 10, so really cool. So good stuff. Alright, we're going to sim to the re-sign phase. I've got plenty of time to do this. NHL assistant coach wants to re-sign. Hopefully he will re-sign. I do kind of like the coaching staff that I have right now. Scouts are needing contracts, and I do need a Liga or a Scandinavian scout. Alright, so OHL. Yeah, I'll just sign all these people unless there are some scouts that I feel like I can do better on. I can't ever do better than that in the queue. Europe, I'm fine with just keeping C overalls, because there really aren't any better European scouts out there. Yeah, same deal. There's no better European League scouts. And if there is one, I can always move it. But, so very little turnover, at least on the front office side of things. Now, who doesn't want to sign here? Svechnikov doesn't want to sign. Well, that's too bad. He's gonna... he's getting a blank check. He's getting all of the money. That should be enough to keep him. 7 years, I'm fine with it. Sure, he'll be 36, but I don't care. Oh, thank God. Okay. I don't have an exam tomorrow. Alright, so Zykov doesn't want to sign, neither does Koivisto. McCarron does want to sign. Medium elite center prospect, which is really cool. When did I draft him? Second round. Okay, well, look at that. So none of these guys want to sign. I'm happy with Zykov's production. I'm going to give him a one-way contract. When he wants a little bit more, I'll give him like fourth line money. I'll give him 1.5. See if he accepts that. I'll qualify Koivisto because I think that he'll be a good part of the team's future. Left wingers. See, this is the problem, is that nobody wants to sign with a Stanley Cup team. Rolison, there's no point in signing because he's 55 overall. I'm okay with letting these guys go because they're 24. Not much room for growth. I want to qualify him. And I'll qualify Rourke too. Right wingers, again, Svechnikov wanted money. Stillman, I'll sign for another year, sure. I'm okay with letting this guy go. And I'll just qualify my AHL team, I guess. Man. So Riley wants to sign for a year. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with this. Because he's still 88 overall. Morrissey... I think I'm going to say goodbye to Morrissey. I think I can do better than that in free agency. If not, I can just revisit it. This guy doesn't want to sign. I'm okay with it. I'll give this prospect a contract. So I don't have a whole lot of prospects signing this year either. Wow. Okay, I gotta back out because it's doing something weird. Alright, and so we'll go back to contracts. And then we'll go to goalies, and Novikov. What? Well, shoot. I'm gonna qualify him and then trade him. Because there's no sense in keeping him around. Leonov's gone after this year too because I have a high elite goalie here. Alright. Well, shoot. I have some decisions to make. No, he doesn't want to join with his job title. Well, whatever. Okay, that's fine. He wants to be a head coach. I don't want to make him a head coach. Okay, now let's see. Let's make sure. So Svech signed. He should have. And let's hope a few players accept their qualifying offers. This will just be scouts signing. Again, I really hope that I can get this done. Yeah, I didn't renew him because he sucks. He didn't want to re-sign with us. We'll need to find a trade for this guy. Man, I wasn't expecting to have, you know, a whole bunch of goalies. So Novikov, we will put you on the block and we'll find it. There's no trades found, my... It's okay. Let's try Leonov. Let's see what happens. No trades found. Okay, so I guess no team just wants a goalie. We'll make it happen. There's a team out there that wants a goaltender. Goalies matching block. Okay, we'll just go for goalies. We'll grab Novikov. Buffalo. I don't want any of your goalies. Well, they actually do need a goalie. I don't have anything matching the block because of course they don't. So we'll try a first round pick and like a 7th. Oh, shut up. No, really? That's stupid. Rookie skaters then. They have nobody! with this defenseman. Okay. Fine, I get 2 mediocre prospects. That's fine. Oh, I actually have to check my team and what I need. Centers. 1, 2, 3, 4. I have one of them playing on the wing. 1, 2, 3. That's fine. 1, 2, 3, 4. I actually kind of need to get rid of a player. Huh. I don't care too much about Rourke, so he probably won't play. So I'll trade Griffith to a team that wants him. I might be able to do more than just a 4th. Let's try a 7th. Yeah, whatever. Alright, and then defense, finally. I'm like gutting the roster. I have 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 4 defensemen, so let me go let me go acquire 2 defensemen. Because I don't like Cheka on defense. Big Sam's a free agent at center. It's Jack Hughes, right? Yeah, Jack Hughes is a free agent. Man, no great defensemen in this year. Shoots. Actually, this would be a perfect addition. He doesn't fit in any scheme. Of course he doesn't. He fits on all penalty killing lines. So here is our replacement for Cheka, essentially. I'll just give him more money in case the team offers us more. I committed to a 33-year-old player for 3 years. Crap. Alright, we'll trade him next year. And he doesn't fit anywhere. I was considering an offer sheet for a second. I still might be. Should I offer sheet this guy? He fits on all of our power play lines, and if Morgan Riley doesn't... If he regresses... Or should I just go with this Fost player who doesn't fit anywhere? I don't want to give up draft picks. I'm afraid the team's going to kind of come to a screeching halt. I'm just going to outbid every team because our budget is limitless. And my AHL team just straight up didn't want to sign. Sure, I'll bring in this guy. I think he's actually a player that said no to a contract extension. So we'll view contracts. This should show me all my RFAs. I'll just offer every player the max. If they say no, then they're stupid for saying no. What does Rourke want? Again, I'll offer him the max for a year. We'll see what happens. I need a coach, an assistant coach to be exact. There really aren't many, huh? Alright, we'll go with this guy. He's a defensive specialist, so maybe he can help the defense. And then I need, I think, one more scout. I think that was all I needed. Yeah, just a Scandinavian scout. And there's a decent one here. Actually, he's pretty good. He's got some A's in terms of potential. He's a B overall, but that's fine. That's cool. Alright, awesome. Taking care of business. Nothing on the first day. Alright, I guess so he accepted. He is my new assistant coach. Congrats. And I got the scout, so cool. Front office is taken care of. Theodore accepted. Oh, these are all my prospects that are signing. Hayden Fleury heading to Pittsburgh from Dallas. Dallas gets Shaw in a 4th. And Christian Faust. Alright, so everything's taken care of for next year. I can go ahead and sim. Man. I don't need Juleson anymore. So I have my defense taken care of. Lias Anderson heading to Columbus. So the Metro getting better there. They want to trade us Hayden Fleury. I forgot to take this off my trade block. Our needs are just straight up defense. Yeah. I haven't drafted a defenseman in the first round in a while. Partially because we've been so good that there haven't been any good defensemen. Nothing exciting going on. I'm really waiting for the Canes to sign their college players because I want something to write about. Bo Horvat heading to Buffalo from Vancouver. Novikov, the goalie that we just traded, is heading to Vancouver. Wow. Big move. And I forgot to mention a rule that I make. If there is, I have to check free agency. If there is a player on free agency that has been created and they are still at free agency at the start of this season, I have to sign them. So no changes to the top 6. No changes to the third line. I don't think there have been any changes to the fourth line, although Gensel is down to a 79, which kind of sucks. Riley's down to an 87, which is, not great. Theodore is down to an 82. Okay. Let's see. Please. Finding Nino, please. Have you signed with another team? He has. Shoot. Yeah, every created player has signed with another team. Crap. Alright, that's fine. We're still listed as a champion team, and I think our defense did get a little better. We'll sim to December 1st, and hopefully everything's okay. They want to trade us Beck Mallinston. No. I want the prospects to get better. I do. I want Zykov to be better. I want the other players to be better. Rourke, and then Gensel I don't care about. I thought I only signed him for a year, but I guess I signed him for 2. So, good preseason so far. We're winning games. Okay. I think the game puts a thing in there where you can't go undefeated in the preseason. Like, you always go, 6-1-0 or something. Like, you never win all of your preseason games. Yeah, see, 5-0-1. Do we at least win against New York? It's not going to tell me. No, we did. So yeah, you can't win all your preseason games. That's my conspiracy theory for the day. I do need to check and make sure that scout is scouting the Liga. He is not. So let's move him over there. Hockey Svensson. His region accuracy for here is a B, which is a little unfortunate. But that also means that there's room for him to grow. Like, your scouts can develop in this game, which is really neat. I like that a lot. So, losing in the shootout in our home opener, but we shut out the Tampa Bay Lightning in the second game of the year. Nice, not too bad. And do we win against San Jose? Nice little homestand to start the season, and we win, so pretty good stuff. We do go on a pretty long road trip. 4 games spread over like 2 weeks. Yeah. So Tampa, we do win against Tampa again. Nice. Arizona having a really rough start to the season. I think I saw we scored 8 goals on them. All right, so Reese Kerslake here is currently being scouted. 17 goals. Bet you this guy's a franchise player. Because that's some ridiculous production there. And then any gems? We've actually found 2 gems so far, which is really good. And 1 bust at the end of the first round in this Melvin Bodie player. But Demetrius Day playing for, I don't want to pronounce that. And Rapperswil, Gabriel O'Sullivan. Projected to go middle 3rd round. No, early 3rd round. This guy's projected to go late 4th. So, cool. That was an 8-7 win. Wow. What is defense? I don't know. 7-4 win against Buffalo, though. So, 5-0-1 to start the year. Again, a pretty good start. You know, which I'd prefer. I prefer the good starts now that I think about it. I prefer those over the slow starts because I always panic a little bit. But as I'm seeing, we haven't played many teams over 500, but we still win against LA and Vegas, so that's good. Okay. All right, I'm liking what I'm seeing here. Can we beat Arizona again? We do 3-0, so definitely a stark contrast from that 8-7 game that we had earlier in the month. And can we beat Philly as well? Yes, 5-3. So 9-0-1, no regulation losses in the month of October. But we lose a regulation game, the first game in November. So I just had to acknowledge it. And we lose to Buffalo too, so 9-2-1 now. 3-game losing streak here. Not good, man. Tough games. All of which were to Eastern Conference teams. 2 5th-round picks for Carl Grundstrom? No. Even if he is better than what I have. We do break that 3-game losing streak with a win against Columbus, so we do beat a Metro team, which is always nice. And we beat the Oilers. Nice. Okay. So that was a nice little home game there. A bit of a weaker draft class than normal, so maybe this was the year to offer sheet, but it's whatever. 3-game win streak following up a 3-game losing streak, and we lose another game though to the Boston Bruins. Can we beat Toronto? Toronto's 15-4-0. Geez, they're good this season. Wow. So Toronto definitely turning it around after firing their coach. We lose 6-4. Wow. So it seems like they're the team to beat this year. Canes win against the Florida Panthers. Nice. St. Louis. And we beat St. Louis. Okay. All right. Can we beat Detroit? I can't tell. Well, no, we lose against Detroit. Man, losing a lot of games this month. It's been a rougher month, but we do beat the Islanders. At least we're winning every game, or as many games as we're losing. For the most part, that's what it seems like we're doing. 4-2 win against Dallas. Nice. And then I'm waiting. 5-4 win against Nashville. It is December 1st. We are 17-6-1. Only 2 points in first place, though. Looks like the Devils are pretty close behind us. We're going to go ahead and sim to February 1st. And if there's a decision that comes up that I need help with, you feel free to join in on the conversation. And nothing too crazy going on. Dominic Bach is out. Looks like it's just for a week, which isn't too bad. We might actually get him back by the Toronto game. Central Scouting, next set of rankings. Let's see if we have anything on this guy. Still unknown. We found out that he was a goal scorer. Wow, really? I couldn't tell that the guy that was at one point a goal per game was a goal scorer. No way. All right. Well, we don't know anything else about him, so I'm at least going to take a look into his potential in comparison. We're scouting the second overall guy as well. Still those 2 gems. Doesn't look like we've scouted this guy a whole lot at all. We'll get a potential in comparison going on. Playing 4 games, that's interesting. And we are scouting this player. So, alright. Bach is able to play, and good thing too, because we had lost against the Caps and a shootout loss against Nashville, so very... Seems like Bach is having a good season. 7-1 against Philly, so we definitely missed Bach in the lineup. And we beat Toronto, so 3-1 win against Toronto. Nice. Can we beat Philly again? We can. 5-4. Seems like the team's still scoring a lot of goals this year. Riley's out with an injured foot for exactly 1 week. And we're playing against Minnesota. We win 7-5. They want to trade us Beck Mallinston. I think I'm okay with that. I don't want to make a trade. This is the 2029-2030 season, though, so we have played through, I believe, 10 years now in this franchise mode. Morgan Riley is back. We only missed a game, and we won against Detroit. Hopefully this doesn't impact him too much, because he is returning a lot earlier than anticipated. Against Calgary now, we did just lose 4-3 against the Canucks. We lost to the Flames as well, 5-3, so tough loss. I think that was a trade. 3-1 loss against Columbus, and then a 4-3 win. It was a trade, I just looked. Against Winnipeg. So we played a bit of a stretch against Western Conference teams here. And we lose to New Jersey. So New Jersey is first in the division now. Wow. So definitely a bit of a skid here for the Hurricanes. We've lost 4 of our last 5. We do pick up a win against Montreal, which is always good. Still holding on to second in the division by a good amount. And Timothy Rabbit has an injured stomach and is out until the 6th. So that's a big loss for us. But we do win against Colorado there. We play against... Oh, this is an interesting trade. AHL top forward, nah. Alright, so... a 6-1 loss against Winnipeg, wow. Timothy Rabbit's back, so that's a big addition for the team. We did need that. And... do we beat Pittsburgh? We do. 7-0 win against Pittsburgh. Wow, just piling it on against the Penguins there. Rabbit's out with an abdominal strain, so his stomach injury actually turned out to be an abdominal injury, which is not good. 4-2 loss for the Canes there. And yeah, so definitely we're losing a lot more games than we are used to, but we're still, 27-13-2. We're still doubling up our win totals. Player for Charlotte's out with a concussion until the 4th of February. I don't even want to look at the trades right now. Rabbit is back a little earlier, but not too early, so he still has plenty of time to heal up from that abdominal strain. We play against Calgary here. Anaheim has fired their coach. That's a bit surprising. I don't know how Anaheim was doing. 5-4 overtime win against Calgary, though. Bit of a Western Conference road trip here as we are playing our final 5 games before the All-Star break on the road. Starting it off with 2 big wins, though. 5-4 overtime win and a 3-0 win in Vancouver. And a 5-2 win against Anaheim, so we are already going above 500 on this road trip, which is always good. And we're heading into the All-Star break now. 4-2 win against the Oilers, and can we sweep the road trip? We have to look at the Central Scouting rankings first. So this player is medium elite. Wow. Oh, wow, they switched. So this Rodney Haskins guy, who is playing quite well, almost a 2 points per game from the WHL, he's projected to go first overall now. Wow. Cool. 3 gems. This Carson Doherty guy looks like he's a low top 6 forward. Same with this Day player. And O'Sullivan, we still don't know a whole lot about. I'm going to go potential in comparison again. I really want to know what this player is. Looks like his ETA is about 5 years, so yeah, judging from that, I can definitely see. Plus, he's an overager. Nothing too crazy, though. It's looking like some low top 6 forwards, which I don't love, because they don't usually turn out all that well. And we sweep the road trip with a 3-1 win against San Jose. 32-14-2. We've reclaimed first place in the division at the All-Star at the All-Star break. Let's see. Going up against the Rangers now, who are doing well. And we win 5-0 and then a 1-0 loss. 33-15-2. Leading the team in points is Ryan Suzuki with 41 assists in 50 games. Not too bad. Will Looper also coming in with 49 points. Definitely a more balanced scoring this year. But still, Rabbit's doing really well. 10L's doing really well. And then it just drops. 14-point difference from Poulin to Robinson. And that's the third line here. Will is the only good player on that third line. And he doesn't even have that many power play points. So it just makes me think that he's not playing with as good of players as he could be. Rabbit missed 4 games and has 44 points, so that's really good. Bach missed 1 game and has 42 or 44 as well. Any rookies this year? We have no rookie skaters, no rookie goalies. On defense, the new additions that we've made, most of the defense actually isn't producing. Wow. Theodore with just 14 points. He's down to an 82, like I said. And then Faust is at 11 points. He is more of a two-way defenseman, though. And he hasn't hit over 38 points in his NHL career. But that's, I'd still love to see him go up at least a little bit. Former 10th overall pick, actually. Well, Canada just announced that they're refusing to send their athletes to Toronto if it's not to Tokyo if it's not postponed for the Olympics. Wow. So there's your bit of news for the day. It has. I know I have a lot of two-way defensemen on my roster, but I was still hoping that Riley would be a little better. I don't want to do that. I want to send to the trade deadline. Yeah, defense production is sus, to say the least. I'm hoping that it's just kind of... I know the offense is obviously carrying things, and it's really just the top 6 and then Will that's doing well. Other than that, yeah, scoring on this team's definitely been disappointing, to say the least. No, it doesn't make any sense. None of those players really stand out. If there was a better defenseman that people were offering me, I'd say yes, 100%. 4-2 win against the Devils, though, after a loss, so we put the Devils a little further behind us, which is good. Against Ottawa, I don't know how good Ottawa is this year. Bachfist heading to Detroit. That's a massive deal. Sends a first-round pick and a couple prospects to Montreal. Wow, that's a big trade. And again, no, I'm going to say no to that deal. Against Ottawa, 5-3 loss. Same deal. I'm going to say no to that any day of the week. And against Boston, we did lose to Boston. 7-0 loss. So we've been shut out by Boston twice this season. I don't know about our other game against them, but yikes. Matt Dumba heading to New Jersey, and along with 2 other fringe NHL players for a first-round pick in next year's draft, a second-round pick in next year's draft, and a prospect. Weird trade for Nashville. But Nashville's really unloading all these players. I'm glad that we're done playing New Jersey for the foreseeable future. 2-1 win against Washington to get us back into our winning ways. Can we beat LA in a revenge game? No, we lose. And LA actually had been struggling this year. Russell Marsh is out for Charlotte. I don't know who that is, but he's out until the end of the month. Again, team's still doing well, but we're losing a few more games than I'd like to. 3-0 win against Vegas is good, though. Shutting out any team is always good. Schmaltz heading to Ottawa from Washington. Washington gets a first-round pick, a decent goalie prospect, and a second-round pick. So that's a huge deal for Washington, and we play them in a couple weeks. Evgeny Svechnikov heading from Washington for a prospect and 2 picks. Wow. So Washington's really selling, so that's actually pretty good for us because we do play them at least one more time. They trade another player for 2 picks, Jordan Kyrou and Healington this time, and Healington's a depth defenseman, so I don't really care too much about that. Oh, we shut out the Rangers, and I didn't see that. Nice. But yeah, 3 trades from Washington here. And Anton Lundell heading from from Vancouver to Buffalo, and Brock Besser. Wow, 2 first-round picks and a prospect heading Vancouver's way. That's a massive trade for Buffalo, though. Wow. And I'm glad we don't play Buffalo anytime soon either. And Anaheim, Buffalo gets former Canes prospect Luke Henman, along with Luke Fody and Dylan Gambrell, all from Washington. And Washington gets a prospect and a pick. Definitely a less exciting trade, but still pretty cool that Luke Henman gets a chance to play with the Sabres. So can we beat Washington after they traded away all this? It took us a shootout, but yes, we beat them. Trade deadline's upon us. I'm okay with that. Charlotte gets a player back, which is cool. That makes no sense to me. Washington actually gets a prospect or a player, an NHL player here in Laura Kynan, but they don't really give up a whole lot actually. So interesting deal. At the deadline, we're 41-19-2, a very good season from the Hurricanes nonetheless. Next month, we play against New Jersey, who definitely loaded up, but other than that, doesn't look too crazy of a schedule. We're going to sim to the final game of the season against the Pittsburgh Penguins. Let's see what's going on. Big win against the Islanders there, 3-1. I know the Islanders kind of struggled this year, but it's still a big win regardless. We do lose to the Panthers, but we win against the Lightning. Lose to the Senators again, man. But we win against the Islanders, and shootout loss against the Islanders. Overtime loss, yikes. Okay. A 6-0 loss, my goodness. Okay, so definitely a bit more of a skid here, but we beat the Panthers to kind of break up that little skid that we were having with a win. We're definitely a playoff team. I mean, over 40 wins now. Okay, a medium elite center, actually. This guy... Okay, my controller disconnected. That's what happened. So yeah, his skating sucks. But... you know what? He's medium elite. I'm going to have to make that pick. And he's projected to go right when I'll be picking at the end of the first round or second round. Because I'm projecting a 4th straight Stanley Cup. Not to get cocky or anything, but still scouting this Carson Doherty guy, so hopefully that'll work out. Big win against Washington. I guess we'll never know what that game against Colorado was. Because it still says versus Colorado here. 3 big losses in a row. But we win against Pittsburgh. I'm definitely a little worried at how we've been playing heading into the playoffs, but we do clinch. We have a playoff spot. We win against Montreal, which is good. Another game against Montreal coming up, and we win that too. So we're first in the division. It's actually a really tight race for first. The top 3 teams in the Metro are all doing very well. The Rangers and the Flyers. The Rangers have 103 points, the Flyers have 101, and the Devils have 100, and they're in the wild card spot. The Senators have 96, so it's definitely a crazy year. The Maple Leafs did clinch the division and will clinch the President's Trophy this year. We'll play the last game in Pittsburgh. Hopefully we can get first place. Hopefully Aho can get 2 points. He's at 30 goals and 50 assists right now, which is pretty neat. Svetch and Robinson score for the Canes in the first period. Second period, Foss scores a goal. That's interesting. I don't remember seeing that name. And then third period, we get a goal from Svechnikov. Jack Hughes, playing for Pittsburgh, gets a goal. So, big finale to the season. Svetch actually ends up leading the team in points with 81. So not quite a point per game, but we do clinch the division with 106 points. The regular season has ended, and we'll be facing New Jersey in the first round. This is going to be a killer first round. Point totals from the Canes. Again, it's going to be very unbalanced. Yeah, that dropped from 10L to Robinson. Still 14 points. Wow. But Suzuki, 54 assists for 70 points. Crazy season from him. Great season from Will. Aho also had 81 points after getting an assist in that game. Looks like Rabbit led the team in goals with 39. And yeah, so on defense, how did the scoring turn out? Terribly. Wow. Riley's down to an 86. Yeah, so he might actually retire this year. I wouldn't be at all surprised. Oh, Foss is the new defenseman that I signed, of course. I think he was from LA. I'm not sure. Good season. Yeah, so we'll keep going. Your stat totals. Yes, you can. You play for Calgary. You had 64 points as a defenseman. Holy crap. I think that's a record for you. No, it's not. 65 points is your career high, but you did set a career high in assists. So you've been doing very well. Calgary. Oh, they just got Big Sam from LA. So look at that, 82 points for him. I mean, there's a stark contrast, but I think Calgary could actually be doing pretty well. You know what? I haven't done this in a while, so I'll go through everybody's point totals. I'm so sorry. I keep forgetting. Anaheim, work rate, 54 points. Not too bad. I believe that's it. Michael Goodrow, you had 18 points. Dan McLaughlin is playing for Anaheim. That's right, I forgot. He did not do well this season, but Anaheim looks like they didn't do very well just as a team this year. Arizona has a couple players. Carl with 54 points. Carl, you've been watching since the trade. Let's show you. You were sent to the OHL once, I'm sorry. But since the trade, 44 points, 35, 37, 50, 48, 65, 45, 54. So you've been doing very well with Arizona. Your career high with us before the trade was 27, and you had 14 points in the year we traded you. So it's clearly worked out for you. And they have one other player on their team that was created, I think. Although it's possible they traded them or got rid of them in free agency. No, McShorsey the Jerk. Not the greatest year for you, but still decent. Boston, you see every team is, Finding Nino, 43 points on the back end. Probably not a career high. No, it might be. That's your career high, 43 points. Really solid season from you. Former second round pick of Vegas. Is that your first season away from Vegas? It is. Wow. All right, so good for you. So yeah, again, Jason Mariani as well, 37 points. I don't believe you were drafted by Boston. You were. I think I've just forgotten to look at you this whole time. Well, there are your stats. Solid season. I'm so sorry. Do they have a goalie? Please tell me they don't have a goalie. Kane's stats, but this must have been recent. 2 years. Okay. So solid season for you. Kane's stats from the Bruins. I hit B again. Yeah, man. It's doing real well. And everybody seems to be doing well this year, which is good. Buffalo may have a created player now. Again, yeah, Meg, 43 points. Solid. Goalies. Josh Grantham, this is new. 31 wins. Solid. Buffalo is definitely loading up. There's Calgary again. There's Carolina. We don't need to see that. Chicago, do they have any creative players? I know they don't now, or they didn't in the past. Still doesn't look like they did. Colorado, intern Maddie with a solid season, 85 points again. I have former Kane, Jeff Skinner. Who's getting up there in years? Actually, how old is Skinner in this game? Like right now. 37. So 48 points, 78 overall. This will probably be his last year. Yeah, this is definitely his last season. Columbus, don't believe they had a created player. They don't. Goalies, still no created players. Dallas, no. Again, I'm looking just so people can see their stats for the future. Sorry if this is a little tedious. Wade, 77 points. Nice season there. And I don't believe that's... I think that's it for Detroit. Ryan Ellis. Just kidding. 40 wins. Nice. Good stuff. And for... No, that's a created player. Or not a created player. Nobody. Alright, Florida. Owen Anderson, 99 points. Nice. Kieran Lang, 90 points. Trey Cash, 73 points. I think that's all their created players now. Yes. So they got rid of Josh Grantham. Interesting. LA, I believe, still has Canes and Cannons. They do. Ooh, tough season for Canes and Cannons. Yikes. Minnesota now. Jonathan Wagner, nice. So everybody's 28 in this sim, just in case you all weren't aware. Jonathan, 77 points. Everybody is 28 in this sim. There's not going to be anybody that's like a little older, a little younger. So we all should be retiring around the same time. Montreal still does not have a created player because they suck. Nashville Rock still is kicking butt out there. 86 points, wow. New Jersey, don't believe has a created player anymore. Austin Matthews is on their team though, that's kind of nuts. The Islanders, Tommy Watson, 51 points. I'm just going to go at the top of the list now, I'm getting tired of this. Nobody on the Rangers. Sens, Evan Stancil, 65 points, so definitely working out for him out in Ottawa. And JT with 61 points, so he was traded from somewhere. And Number Sports Fan, 50 points. So they have a lot of creative players on their team. Look at that. Philly, Jacob Narby, 109 points. Is that a record for him? That's got to be a career high. Oh, absolutely, it's a career high. Pittsburgh, Optimistic Caniac, 71 points. Nice. Doesn't look like we had anybody for San Jose. Sarai, 77 points. It's me, 52 points. Toronto, they had a goalie at one point. Do they still? Chris Miracle, 40 wins. Nice. Don't see anybody there. Vegas. Former Kane, Martin Necas, 64 points. I don't see any goalies. Do they have a goalie? I think they did at one point. Don't think they do anymore. Nope, they don't. I have that Tikhonov guy that I drafted. And Washington doesn't have anybody because they're stupid. And neither does Winnipeg. Alright. I'm going to sim through the playoffs really quick, and then we're going to end it at the end of the playoffs. So hopefully this will be another long run, but if not, it's okay. I won't be too mad. First period, Samuel Poulin scoring on Niha. Second period, Kings, Taro Hirose does score for New Jersey, but Robinson gets a goal for the Hurricanes. Third period, no score, so the Canes win 2-1 in Game 1 of the playoffs. Good stuff. Ottawa beat Toronto in their first game of the series, which is always exciting. First period of Game 2. Canes get another goal, this time from Will Looper. Solid stuff. Radish scores for the Devils to give the Devils a tie game, or to tie the game up for the Devils, and they win. Fiala and Nylander do score, and so it's tie game, tie series 1-1. And we're going to go ahead and sim to Game 3. Will Looper had 2 points in that game, I think, possibly. No, he couldn't have. So he's a point per game player in the series. Gotcha. So Austin Matthews does score, but Dominic Bach gets a goal. Looks like Leonov has taken over as the starter from Kurt, which is interesting. So Bach has a goal. And Aho gets another goal, so the first line putting in some work here. And then Will Looper and Svechnikov get goals. So Will scored with 2 seconds left after Svech's empty netter, which is kind of funny. Alright, game number 4. Canes are up 2-1 in this series. The AHL regular season has ended, and the Checkers are a playoff team. They are playing against Hershey in the playoffs, and they have home ice advantage, so it looks like they did pretty well in the playoffs. Alright, playing against New Jersey now. And this is game 4, I believe. Canes with 2 goals, Aho and Svechnikov scoring in the first period. Second period, Poulin scoring another goal. And then the third period is 4-0, a shutout. Will Looper scoring on Niha again. Leonov, yeah, taking over. 26 save shutout for him. Will Looper does have 2 points in that game, so he keeps the scoring title for this series. Canes are on the verge of eliminating the Devils in Game 5. Game 5. Ooh, Dumba and Nylander score for the Devils. Second period, nothing doing, and then the third period, they get shut out. The Canes get shut out. Max Jones and Quinton Byfield scoring for the Devils. 4-0 shutout. I think that's back-to-back 4-0 shutouts for each team. It is. Game 6 now. Canes versus Devils. Canes still on the verge of eliminating the Devils. And let's see what this game holds for us. All right. New Jersey scores. Nylander again scoring against Leonov. Second period. Canes take the lead briefly and Matthews ties it, but Svechnikov and Riley getting the goals for the Hurricanes. Third period now. Tie game. Ekholm scoring first, but Morgan Riley scores just 26 seconds later to tie the game. We're heading to overtime. You know what that means. It's going to be a sim. New Jersey's defense is very weak, but their offense is quite solid, so hopefully the Canes can pull out a win here. And let's see, anything exciting going on online? No. Alright. So, Aho on the faceoff against Austin Matthews. That's a pretty great matchup on the first line, but Aho comes away with the puck to Fost. I don't remember his first name, but we're going to call him Fost. What a pass to Dominic Bach, but he can't do anything with it. Conacher with the puck now to Bach. Bach takes the shot and is blocked. Fost with it back to Conacher. Oh, he takes it into the zone. Aho, block shot. Svechnikov scores. Canes win and move on in the playoffs to the second round. So, there's still a chance for a four-peat and the Booker T bit. That's all I'm going to say. It was game 6, so we are going to have to simulate a few days. Svech now has the series, or the scoring lead for the team. And it's going to be Canes versus Flyers in the first round. So good stuff. We're going to sim to the first game. Charlotte's goalie is out. We're going to play the first game of the series. We're going to sim it. Period 1, 3-1 Canes. Rabbit, Bach, and Bach score for the Hurricanes. Timo Meier scoring for Philly. Second period, 6-2 with Rabbit and Robinson both on hat-trick watch with 2 goals, and Bach. Third period now, Rabbit gets the hat-trick, so he has a hat-trick in this game. That second line coming in clutch. 4 points for Rabbit, 2 for Robinson, and then 3 for Dominic Bach. 7-2 is your final in game 1. Bach with 9 points in 7 games to take the scoring lead from Svechnikov. Although, you know, the first line is putting in work, so I guess I can't be too mad. 2-0. Aho and Svechnikov scoring in the first period. Svech's goal was from behind the net. Makes you think. Second period now, Aho getting his second of the game, so he's on hat-trick watch. Third period, nothing doing, though. Canes still win 3-1. Both games in Raleigh turn out to be wins. And the Canes advance to game 3. And Charlotte gets their goalie back, but it looks like they don't advance in the playoffs. In Toronto, the President's Trophy winners lose in the first round to Ottawa. And Ottawa's kind of going nuts. Well, it's because they have all those creative players. They're clearly doing well because of that. 10-0 with the goal. Nice stuff there. First period done. Second period, Svechnikov getting a goal. And then we got the third period here. Sami Niku scoring his first goal of the playoffs. It's an empty net goal, but it still counts. 3-0 is your final. Canes win. Another shutout for Leonov. Now we got game 4 in Philly. Canes on the verge of sweeping the Flyers. First period, 2-1 Flyers. Hoglander and Hickett scoring. We get a goal from Morgan Riley, though. Good to see Riley getting on the score sheet. I think that might be his first of the playoffs. Second period, Canes tie it thanks to Landon Robinson. Third period, that's a loss for the Canes. Narby does score his first goal of the series, and Bach gets a goal, but the Canes lose 5-3. Philly staves off elimination, at least for one game. Bach with 15 points in 10 games, a solid start to the playoffs for him. That's a very good playoffs, actually. Over an assist per game with 11 assists. So, first period, game 5. Couturier scores his... no, that's not his first goal of the series, but regardless, he scores. Robinson does get the goal back for the Canes. It's a tie game heading into the third. In the third period, Svechnikov scores to win it. Canes are moving on to the Eastern Conference Final, on the verge of their 4th Stanley Cup in a row, or at least they're close to it. The Flames advance as well to their conference final, so Connor, you have a chance, my friend. You now have a 1 in 4 chance of winning the Stanley Cup. It's Canes versus Sens. It's Flames versus Jets. First period, game 1 of the Eastern Conference Final. Tie game, Brady Tkachuk and Andrei Svechnikov scoring. Svech is better. Second period, ooh. Evan Stansel getting that revenge goal. Nick Ritchie and Barbashev scoring as well for the Senators. Svech does get a goal, but it's 4-2 Sens and 5-2 after Brady Tkachuk scores another goal. Tough first game for the Canes. That was their first loss in a little, or well, first like walloping in a while. Game 2 now in Raleigh. Canes are going up against the Senators. Number Sports Fan does score a goal against the Hurricanes. First period, it's 1-0. Second period, Evan Stansel getting another goal. Third period, Bean does score to cut the lead in half, but Barbashev puts it out of reach with 2:24 left in the third. Canes lose game 2 as well. We're heading to Ottawa. All of a sudden, yikes. Alright, we know everything about this draft. They said it's a weak draft. Lots of gems, though. I don't know, man. Oh, 2 of those are goalies. I don't really count that. And 3 are low top 6 forwards. I don't really count that either. Alright. Game 3. Canes need a win here. Otherwise, they're going to go down 3-0 in their series. 1-0 Sports Fan again scoring for the Sens. This time, Svechnikov does get a goal for the Canes. Right in front again. Third period, nothing doing. We're heading to overtime. You know what? I do actually have to leave pretty soon, so I'm not gonna go commentate overtime. Canes win in overtime. Rourke gets his first goal of the playoffs, and that's a big one. Canes win 2-1, and Ottawa now has a 2-1 lead. Looks like the Flames also won their game, so it is 2-1 in that series as well. All right, game 4. Canes down 2-1 in the series. 2-2. Conacher and Looper scoring. I believe that's Conacher's first of the playoffs. Former Cane Teuvo Teravainen scoring for the Sens. Nothing in the second. Third period, Canes win. Rourke again wins the game for the Canes. 2 clutch goals in this series. Wow. Tie series in both conference final. Wow. This is good. This is entertaining. First period. Number Sports Fan scores again. The first goal of the game for the Sens in 3 games, I believe, this series. Aho gets a goal there, though. Big goal from Sebastian Aho late in the first period. Second period, we get a goal from Conacher again. Third period, Canes win. Niku scoring the game winner. Brandstrom does cut the lead in half, but the Canes win 3-2. And we're on to game 6. Canes up 3-2. Winnipeg is up 3-2 in their series. Uh-oh, Connor. The dream might be over. Evan Stansel scoring 2 goals. Svechnikov scores 1 goal. Canes are leading. Rabbit, Bach, and Rabbit again scoring. JT Shepard scores his first goal of the series. Tie game. Blue Ann, that's a new player, scores for Ottawa to tie the game. We're heading to overtime. Canes win. Zykov scoring his first goal of the playoffs. Vitaly Zykov, the 4th line with 2 overtime winners in this series. That proves to be the big one. Calgary does tie the series. It's going to be Canes versus the winner of Calgary and Winnipeg. It's Canes versus Winnipeg. I'm so sorry, Connor. The dream is over. The Canes are on the verge of their 4th straight Stanley Cup, and again, I'm not controlling any of this. It's crazy. 2-1 Winnipeg. Will Looper does get a goal on Lucas Dostal in the first period, or in the second period. Third period now, nothing. 2-1 Winnipeg is your final. Second period, or game 2. That's tough. I mean, you forced a game 7, and you couldn't quite do it. I mean, you know, what can you do? Rabbit and Bach score for the Canes after Vrana scores twice for the, I almost said Capitals. The Jets. Second period, still tie game. Stenlund scoring and Robinson scoring for the Canes. Nothing. We're going to head to overtime. Nothing in the first overtime. Winnipeg wins off of Silfverberg, a created player, Silfverberg. Like a drafted Silfverberg. So Canes once again down 2-0 in the series. They proved last time that doesn't matter because they won 4 straight games against Ottawa. 2-1 Canes, Svechnikov scoring twice. Scheifele gets a goal there. Svech gets the hat trick. Vesalainen gets the other goal for Winnipeg. And it's a Canes win. Suzuki scoring, I believe that's his first goal of the playoffs. And Dominic Bach scoring for the Canes as well. He gets the game winner. So 2-1 Canes. They won in Winnipeg the first game. And so we're going to game 3 now. Or game 4, excuse me. Big goal from Samuel Poulin. Haven't seen his name pop up in a little while, so it's good to see him get on the score sheet. Canes outshot the Jets 11-4 in that period. Second period, big period. Robinson, Looper, and Suzuki getting goals. And then third period, we get a goal from Dominic Bach. So, huge game from the Canes, tying the series up. 5-0 shutout for Leonov there. And Dominic Bach has 26 points in 21 games, having a very good playoffs. 2-1 Winnipeg after the first period. Looper does score for the Canes. And Gensel, first goal of the playoffs, gives the Canes the lead. Suzuki getting a goal as well that period. Third period, Svech wins it. Or doesn't win it, but he gets an empty net goal. All of a sudden, folks, we're heading to Game 6. Your Carolina Hurricanes. Again, I haven't played any of these games. It's crazy. They're on the verge of winning their 4th straight Stanley Cup. Tennell scoring. I believe that might be his first goal of the playoffs. Morgan Rielly scoring as well. Second period, we got Rabbit scoring, so the second line coming in clutch. We're going to slow sim this. 5-on-4 power play. Canes kill that off. Nice job. I'm saying nice job like, the team's actually, playing in front of me. Another penalty kill. Solid stuff. 3 penalty kills in this period. Wow, and they've done it. Look at that. 4-1 after an overtime or empty net goal. I didn't see who it was from. I don't think I hit the option to sim, but we're going for 4 straight, and the NHL game just wanted me to do the Booker T bit. That's got to be what it is. I did not, so I have to switch to go to settings. Select sides. No side chosen. Yes. Alright. 39 seconds left. It is a 4-1 lead for the Carolina Hurricanes in Game 6. Svech, ooh, nice little moves up in front, but nothing doing there. Kupari with the puck now. We've got 22 seconds left in this period. Soderstrom with the puck. And nice play from number 67, Fast there. I mean, I can't complain about my defense not scoring if, this is going to happen. 8 seconds left. A nice shot. No face-off, please. Kupari to Prisky. Chase Prisky's on this team. 5-time champs! Alright, I'm happy with that now. Your Carolina Hurricanes are, how many times? 5-time champs. And they're Booker T's favorite amount of champs. And yeah, so that's it. I've watched this so many times that I'm not going to watch it anymore. We know the drill. And yeah, that was a great season. Obviously, capped off with a big win at the end. Should be able to play tomorrow. I'm going to, again, sim through the off-season, probably tonight. So I'm just going to leave this up, but I will exit out, and then we'll sim to the 2030-2031 season tomorrow. So thanks for watching.